very special episode. It's a week before we actually go to Stan Lee's Comikaze next weekend. It's going to be October 30th to November 1st. Tons of amazing events are going on there. Keith's going to fill you in on some of it. I'm going to talk about my next guest. His name's Phil LaMarr. You'll know him from Mad TV, the voice of Green Lantern, and a bunch of other things that we're going to talk about. Phil, why don't you come on over here and get in on this. Phil LaMarr, ladies and gentlemen. So Phil, we were talking backstage, and you've done so many amazing things, and you told me you were in Pulp Fiction. I was like, wait a minute.
He did not believe me.
Well, which guy were you in Pulp Fiction? My Rolodex was going, and he was like, I was the guy whose head got blown up by John Travolta. I was a what? So let's talk about some other stuff. Walking Dead has just started up.
Yes.
You're a fan of Walking Dead?
I am. Yes, I'm a huge fan of Walking Dead. I was such a fan of the comics that when I heard they were doing the series, I begged to get an audition. Of course, at that point, there was only one black character, so I'm like, "Get Morgan. Look for a breakdown for Morgan."
Wow. Well,
but then, of course, they give it to Lenny James. I'm like, dang it, he's good.
Well, you know what happens on every season is people die. Like, almost every episode now, someone's dying. And
That's
so
true.
this new season, the first 2 episodes, I'm not going to do any spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, but except that people die.
Yeah, which on Walking Dead is not really a spoiler.
Because remember, there's tons of millions of zombies, and you get bit, you die. They sometimes just chew through you die.
Right.
There's a lot of ways, and other humans will probably kill you first.
Yes.
So that's probably going to happen anyway. You're not even going to get killed by a zombie. You're going to get killed by another jerky human.
Because really, the humans are the real virus.
Yes. So season 2, really, I mean, you know.
I'm you know what? Off to a great start.
I agree. I literally just watched episode 2 last night. Was like, what?
Yes.
That horn? Oh my God! So if you watched episode 1, there's a horn involved. And you're like, what's up with that horn? Episode 2.
Yeah, you thought the horn was something good? It's even better.
Yeah. No, the horn goes on for quite a long time. I was like, wow, they're really rocking that horn.
Which I got a little things like, it's like, okay, I can go back and watch the end of episode 1. But I'm pretty sure that horn was not on for that long.
No, and then, well, I think they cut away to the credits, and then this is the extended edition horn part.
Well, you know what it is? It's the Michael Bay explosion of horns.
Yes, it certainly is.
You know, it's like,
yeah, and it's in slow motion horn.
How is he in the air for that long?
Bro.
And how is there that much flame?
And the dude who's like eventually makes the horn stop, you're like, come on, dude. He's taking his time. I think they even cut away to some other stuff going on. You're like, yo, the horn's still going on.
Right, you know, it's like, it's stuck.
I know, I can't really seem to squeeze through. Come on, you've got a gun. So anyway, have we whet your appetite for this Walking Dead? You should be on season 2 right now.
Yes.
Let's talk about Fear the Walking Dead. So that's like, I think it was a 7-episode run, which just happened to be while I was on tour the whole time. So I missed it. So I'm going to catch that. I don't know, did you check it out?
You know what, I watched the first, I don't know. I'm not sure I want to go back.
Yeah, really.
You know.
Was it a little too slow, or was it like too...
Yeah, well, because, I don't know, it's sort of like watching, you know, let's watch things that happened in the South before the Civil War. Like, who cares?
That's right. This
You
is
know?
freeze, it's right on the
No,
edge of the
plantations
zombie.
were running very smoothly. But you know something's coming, you know?
And then the spin-off show, after you've already been involved in that, goes back to how the plantation running smoothly, right?
But see, that's the thing. I would rather watch a spin-off of what we're watching now than go back. I mean, to me, it's sort of like the prequel trilogy.
Yes.
You know, it's like, okay, somebody's going to be Darth Vader.
Look, it's a little pumpkin-faced kid who can't act. Oh. Just death and destruction. Let's really not talk about the Phantom Menace. I just saw the new trailer. We're going to get into that a lot later. But what are your thoughts, speaking of, prequels, about X-Men? They're doing these 2 new television shows. We've got Legion, which is basically Professor X's kid.
Right.
And I always just remember him from the Bill Sienkiewicz period with the giant hair. I see the Kid and Play.
I know. I was just thinking, like, if only they could get Kid from Kid and Play to play Legion.
Right? Well, they might. You never know. But I don't know if he'll have that hair. So
that's true.
And they also have Hellfire
reboot.
Club. So the Hellfire Club, rocking from Chris Claremont, John Byrne years, and then all the way up to First Class, where they got the 60s Bond style thing. Keith was just telling me, no, they're going to rock 60s Bond style TV show Hellfire Club. Which I was like, man, they could just do it now and save a lot of money. They all have cell phones and stuff. Just use what, you got a lot of set decorating costs. All of a sudden, it went up a couple million.
I know.
60s.
I was wondering, like, why do they keep going back to that era?
they might, they'll shoot the pilot and be like, the pilot cost $7 million. They're like, now it's set in 2015.
Although you know what my theory is? Because some executive says, nobody wants to watch old people. We need them young and hip and with hair.
Yep.
And that's why we keep going back. It's like, let's see young Professor X.
That's right. The music was really good in the 60s.
Right.
Everyone's like, you're right,
Kevin Costner.
Yeah. Well, let's move on and talk about Frank Miller's Dark Knight 3. So Frank Miller, if you don't know who Frank Miller is the guy who actually
Why are you watching?
kind of blew up the Batman in the mid 80s and then kind of made people like, oh, Batman's more than bang, piff, pow, we should make a movie. And Tim Burton made this movie and in the black suit and everybody's changed everything. So Frank Miller changed everything before the movies changed everything. He did change the comic book industry along with Alan Moore in the late 80s. So
well, really? Neil Adams did that? He made the Dark Knight dark.
Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams. I love to give them both credit.
Exactly.
But, yeah, I agree. So I mean, they did the Joker stories. And you also got to go with Marshall Rogers. A lot of people rock the Batman, but no one really rocked it like.
But nobody hit like in a mass culture way the way Dark Knight did.
Right.
And also Dark Knight was just. I remember picking those issues up when they came out. It was just like,
same here.
You hadn't seen anything like it.
Incredible. Yeah, it was like earth-shattering. 1985, 1986, 1987. All you kids were not even born yet. You missed out. Ha ha. But you can watch. Now you don't have to sweat it out every issue. Like we were like, they skipped it 4 months later. You can just read it and be like, I don't understand. So anyway, you better understand. But then Frank Miller did a sequel to The Dark Knight, which was
pretty good.
It was okay.
It wasn't as good.
Right.
But then
it
again,
wasn't
you can't crack the Liberty Bell twice.
I know, but at least get someone who has Photoshop skills. I felt like they were like, I'm using every gradient that was free in Photoshop when they first came up with it. It was like the worst coloring job in the planet. In the history of comics, it really was bad.
It was his girlfriend.
I know, and I think Lynn Varley is an amazing painter, but they basically took that $1 million and were like, here's Photoshop. I don't know what happened. So at least the Dark Knight 3 is what we're talking about. Now there's a controversy, not about the 100 different covers that they are printing for this book, and then there's like an extra variant, like every 5,000 you order, you get a weird sketch cover from Jim Lee. But hey, you know what? This is what's actually keeping the comic book industry alive. Now they're going to bury.
Maybe it shouldn't be.
They're going to bury 200,000 issues of The Dark Knight somewhere in the desert. But those weird variant covers that we're complaining about, they resell them for like $7,000. So that's actually where they get that money.
This is all feeding the collector thing. This is not about This is not about storytelling, which is what comics should be about. This is collectors ruining comics again. Just like they did in the 90s.
Right, with the
speculation
gold foil covers.
This is why none of your stuff is worth anything.
That's right.
It's because of the 90s. And like, mothers learned, oh, I shouldn't throw away my son's comics.
This is like the stock market.
It's not like the stock. If people burn their stocks, like if people burned like 10 out of every 90 stocks, then it would be like the stock market.
Yeah, like if you invested in Apple, like maybe in 1992 when they were making the clones, remember they're like, we're cloning stuff, we don't even know what we're doing anymore.
Right.
Our stock's only $8. We're like, well, I hope Apple makes it. Now it's like $789.
Yes.
Every single one of us would be millionaires if we even bought 100 shares.
But you're saying my ROM Spaceman Knight #1 is not the same thing?
No, it's even better because I have ROM 1 through 75. And I love Rom the Space Knight, and I don't care if it's worthless.
Oh no, dude, it's worthless on both levels.
No way, Ron. I will fight
it's
you.
Awful.
All right, check it. You didn't like Micronauts?
I have one.
Micronauts, Michael Golden. I know I'm like.
I like Michael Golden's artwork, but the stories in Micronauts.
Hey man,
come on.
It was just like Star Wars.
No, this is my thing.
All right. He's a tough critic.
I despise continuity.
Right.
No, not continuity in and of itself, but people being slaves to continuity. And Micronauts is a perfect example of that. Like, that was a toy deal.
Right.
That comic was only made because there was not because somebody had a great take on it.
Right.
It was because they were selling toys.
But Space Glider was a cool toy. And a Croyer was pretty cool too.
Toys are one thing.
Karza was pretty awesome.
Comics are another. This little action figure doesn't tell a story. It doesn't at all.
But the body banks, come on. He's a tough one. So let's go back to Dark Knight. So what do you think of the Frank Miller cover that he did? He's done 2 covers, one with Superman with giant Hulk hands and some exposure of the genitalia area, kind of inflated in a certain device. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I think he's past his prime, and the artwork shows that. You know, it's fine. I don't mind it, but it doesn't feel like a choice. Like, I'm just going to be outrageous. It feels like I don't really know what I'm doing anymore. You know, like his own, anti-Muslim stories. Like, that's not dude, you're just out of touch.
All right, well, I want to hear what Keith has to say. He was mentioning Picasso with Frank Miller. So Keith, what are your thoughts on The Dark Knight?
You know, I think he's still producing. And for me, it's about still having someone who is great, be able to contribute and have something of value and something to look at. Is it his best work? No. But I'm grateful to have something.
Definitely, and I'm waiting to read Dark Knight 3 because Frank is writing it with Brian Azzarello of 100 Bullets fame. He's a great writer, so, you know, it could still be awesome. I don't, regardless of the 3,000 covers that they've got going on.
Phantom Menace!
Ooh, Phil, stop! All right, so.
It's, you know, it's time to talk about Comikaze.
Yeah.
Kamikaze Expo. That's what we're all here for, right? And we are coming up. Hello, Comikaze fans. We are less than 2 weeks away, and the anticipation is scintillating. Now, I have got a ton of stuff to tell you about, so I'm going to get straight to it. First off, guests. And oh, what guests we have. Carey Fisher, anyone? You might have seen her last night on your TV during Monday Night Football. And after that trailer, we are very, very excited. She's going to be at the show on Saturday. Here's your chance to meet a legend, meet a Star Wars OG. She's going to be signing autographs. She's going to be taking pictures. This is your shot. Also, we have another space legend. William Shatner is coming to the show on Sunday. He's going to be doing a panel about his new project, which is an imprint that he has. And he's going to be joined on stage by a certain Stan Lee with a very special announcement. It's not a new title that they're working on, but it is a very cool announcement. You're not going to want to miss it. If you're a Firefly fan, we've got you covered. Summer Glau is coming to the show, the star of so many geek films. She's going to be signing, taking photos Saturday. Make sure you stop by and say hello. If you love J.J. Abrams, you've seen Greg Grunberg. He's been in everything from Lost to Star Trek to now Star Wars. And we welcome him with open arms to Comikaze. We're very excited to have this star of Alias. And we're going to have some huge cast reunions, starting with All That. You know, that's just cool. How many people grew up on All That? Let's hear it. But no, you got to clap. They don't have the camera on you. They're raising their hands. Now, we also have Spartacus. Liam McIntyre is going to be there. Sons of Anarchy cast members. Babylon 5 cast members. Pete and Pete are going to be in the house. And then they're going to be doing a podcast, all live. Other guests, we have Amanda Stenberg, who is Rue from The Hunger Games. Casper Van Dyne. Patrick Muldoon. We're going to have a little Starship Troopers. A plethora of Power Rangers. And one person that I am so excited about is returning to the show. DMC of Run DMC. He's going to be there. He's a legend, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How often do you get that? And of course, the guest you just saw, one Phil LaMarr, is going to be there. He's going to be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So here's your chance to come by and say hello to Phil. I know he would love to chat with you about how you're not a collector. And I haven't even begun to mention the comic book talent. Okay, I'm just going to read these off, all right? Todd McFarlane, Grant Morrison, Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, Mark Silvestri, Mike Mignola, Art Adams, Humberto Ramos. If you're not excited, you are not a comic book fan. Go turn on something else, okay? And do I need to even add Stan Lee? He's going to be there too. This is an insanely good comic book lineup. You're only going to get this in like one or two other places very rarely. So make sure you come and see this lineup. We're also going to have all the animators from Bob's Burgers on hand. And those guys are funny in and of themselves. There's going to be a whole Bob's Burgers pavilion. And speaking of Stan Lee, on Friday only, we have something very special. Stan is going to be signing advanced copies of his new autobiography, which is called Amazing, Fantastic, Incredible. He wrote it. It's coming out. You have a chance to get it 4 days before it's available. This is a limited opportunity, and pre-orders for the book are available online right now at kamikazeexpo.com. It is limited. The pre-order will guarantee you a copy and Stan's autograph. He will sign it right there and hand it to you. And when they're gone, they're gone. So if you want one, I would pre-order it. This signing is, of course, in addition to Stan's regular signings in the Stan Lee Museum throughout the weekend. So yes, you'll be able to get all those other things, like your Spider-Man #1 signed by Stan. But this is a special thing that you can only get online. Now, that's just the guests. We've also got a full slate of entertainment for you too, because Comikaze is not just about guests, it's about what's going on in LA and having a blast and having a party. So first up, we are pleased to announce that we are hosting NerdFest LA all day Saturday and Sunday, and we're going to have incredible performances from all sorts of local talent, including improv episodes of Star Trek, Doctor Who, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones. We're going to have live musical performances by the Library Bards, Broken Pixels, and more. We're going to have a special dance performance of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. from the Survey Corps. You know you want to see a dance interpretation of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Come on! We're going to have stand-up from Andrew Duvall. Come see the best geek performers in LA. I said Greek, oh my gosh. Geek performers in LA. Maybe they were in fraternities, I don't know. But it's all free with your badge, and this is really important to us because this is what LA has to offer. This is about the people who live here that spend every day of their lives trying to make entertainment, and you have a chance to see them live. They are great. And of course, NerdFest is hosted by our very own Stephanie Pressman, who's sitting over there taking all your questions. So she's going to be the hostess with the mostest. And we have an amazing schedule of panels, all of which can be found on KamikazeExpo.com. And some of the ones that I'm most excited to see about, to hear about are The Walking Dead Psychology with Jenna Bush, the Cracked podcast, where the Cracked writers and editors do it live and it's hilarious. Superhero Beatdown, they're going to be debuting something fresh. The brothers Rydell are going to be there Friday night. Your Opinion Sucks, Rotten Tomatoes critics versus fans. If this isn't a nerd dream, I don't know what is. We have the Kapowie's Anti-Bullying Awards, and that's really important. We have all of our cosplay panels, and we have a few panels from both Stephanie Pressman and John Schnepp. They're going to be very busy the whole weekend, but it's your chance to see them. And if you like movies, we're definitely the place to be next weekend because we have premieres, film premieres of Comics, the comic book movie. We have The Fall of Men, which is the Dragon Ball Z fan film. We have the full-length one. They're finishing it right now for us. 10 Spotting, the Doctor Who fan film. We have the Geek Film Festival. We're going to have the best of all the Geek Film Festival from all the other festivals are going to be at Comikaze. We have the Spike and Mike Festival, the animation. It's sick and twisted, and it's going to be crazy. It's 18 and over, but it's great. That's Saturday and Sunday. We have a very special screening of The House at the End of the Drive, starring a certain someone who's coming up later in the show. I won't mention who. And the premiere of Nobility, our original superhero videos from YouTube Spaces. I don't know if you saw that, but Stan Lee makes a lot of cameos in those. And of course, a very, very special screening of The Death of Superman Lives from our very own John Schnepp. That's a pretty good lineup so far, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. But that's not all. We also have our amazing Halloween cosplay ball on Saturday night. And here to tell us a little more about it is the host of our cosplay ball and the founder of Nerds Like Us, Bernie Bregman.
What's up, everybody?
All right, Bernie, tell us about the party. What do you have planned for us?
Well, the party's going to be presented by Nobility and Battlecasters, and we're going to have some amazing performances. For starters, did you mention it's free? A free party like Comikaze isn't already giving you so much at this convention, but it's going to be a free after party. If you got your Saturday or 3-day badge, you just roll right into the very beautiful.
Or you get in line and roll it.
Or you get in, well, yeah. and then you very carefully go through the metal detectors into the beautiful and lavish Club Nokia in downtown LA, a beautiful venue where some of the biggest celebrities and bands play. Here's what we got lined up for you guys. So we're going to have the amazing DJ Galactic Ray, a nerd DJ from here in Los Angeles. He dresses up as a Mandalorian and spins bunches of your favorite 80s and 90s, lots of awesome music. We've got 2 incredible live performances from our headlining bands. Makeout Mondays is going to be a fantastic show, and the Flux Capacitors, a phenomenal 80s cover band. We've also got special nerd burlesque, or as those ladies like to call it, nerdlesque, from the Hollywood Jane Review, featuring some of their most talented performers, Gwen Ruby, Blanche Bourgeois, and Greta Grenade. It is going to be amazing. I'll be hosting that with the incredible and fabulous Bernadette Bentley, and it is going to be fantastic. If you guys have nothing to do on Halloween, that's the place to be. Comikaze, you guys gave us everything. You gave us Friday night, all sorts of amazing stuff, including a fashion show.
Yes.
Saturday, a full slate of amazing celebrities, the Cosplay National Championships, and then an after party. And then, for those that aren't obliterated by the after party, there's a bunch of awesome stuff on Sunday. So it's really going to be fantastic.
And remember, this is really important. Daylight savings is that Saturday night. So you will get an extra hour of sleep before you have to be up to come back to cosplay.
Thank the maker.
And we and Stanley arranged that. We did.
That's how much pull Stan has.
You.
He can literally change the hours in the day.
He's a superhero.
He is.
If Stanley asks you for something, can you say no? No. No, you can't. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be some drop-in surprises too, maybe some stuff that we can't
Working
talk
on some
about.
stuff, maybe some big name musical talent may show up.
Is the photo booth going to be back? Because that was a big hit last year.
There will be a photo booth. Some awesome decor is going to happen, and it's going to be flashy blinky lights are going to hook us up with free party toys for everyone that rolls out. So you guys can get your dance on with some free party toys. It's going to be amazing. Maybe a specialty drink. We'll see.
Yeah, it's 18 and over. Sorry, kids, if you're watching and you're not 18, you're just gonna have to go trick or treat.
And make sure you guys get in line fast because Comikaze is going to be huge with tens of thousands of people, and we can hold about 4,000 in Club Nokia,
And that's packed to the gills.
Yes, so definitely line up as soon as you get out of Comikaze. Go get your food and roll right to the club, and we'll get you guys in as fast as we can.
And it's, again, hosted by Bernie. He's a great host. He knows what he's doing. He's been doing these geek events for a while now, more than 2 years, I think.
I've been doing, Club Cosplay for 2 years, Nerds Like Us for 5, and been putting on nerd parties in Los Angeles for close to 10 years. So if it comes to bringing nerds together for an awesome good time and a great party, I'm your guy.
Bernie is the cool nerd. That's what he's become, the cool nerd.
Cool
Awesome.
is the other side of the pillow.
Yep. Well, thank you, Bernie. We are psyched. I'm psyched to see this. And again,
Will you be wearing this fantastic paisley
I will,
shirt
even
to
with
the party?
with the mic
That's
that
what
I just
wanna know.
hit, and that I just because that's how I. No, I'm gonna have on my cosplay uniform, which I cosplay as the CEO of Comikaze Expo.
Amazing.
That's what I do.
I can't wait to see the details.
It's amazing. They're like people they're like, really? Is that?
Pepper in some extra gray?
No, I don't need to because it's
Oh, by the time we get there.
Well, I might just shave it all off. Why not, right? But again, this night is brought to us by Nobility, which is premiering at Comikaze, and it's also presented by Battlecasters, that's with a K, which is a very special on-site game. I think I might talk about it in a little bit or not, but you should go download it. You're gonna come to Comikaze with it downloaded on your mobile device, and you will get to find other places, other battle arenas where you battle other attendees. And here's the cool thing with that, it's got prizes. So we also have more stuff. You can hang out if you want. We're gonna hang out here. We have more stuff to talk about that we're gonna be doing, like the Cosplay National Championship, which you just talked about. It's gonna have over $10,000 in cash and prizes. That's on Saturday. It is the best, and we have cups. It's the Stanley Cup. Nothing?
Yeah.
The Stanley, not sports fans. It was a sports reference. It was a sports fan.
I'm not sure which one
Yes.
we're going with.
Keith, you're surrounded by nerds. They don't watch sports.
Yeah, okay, fine, fair enough. We have the Prop Making National
They
Championship.
all watched sports last night, though.
Yes, they did.
Forced to watch football. I'm against it.
All of a sudden, everybody's fans of these giants that they speak of. But no, everybody's fans of the Eagles because Gua here. Okay, the Prop Making National Championship with over $1,000 in cash and prizes is going to be on Sunday. LA's ultimate trick or treat on Halloween with over a literal ton of candy is just waiting for kids to come and get it. I am serious. It was 2,200 pounds of candy. I know because I paid for it. And it is amazing. It's going to start at noon. It's for kids. If you're 18 and over and you're complaining because you can't have the candy, you get to go to the party. So trade-off, right? We're gonna have a kids costume contest with special prizes. It's being presented by Disney Pixar's The Good Dinosaur. We're gonna have special prizes for playing Battlecaster, so go download that app. We're gonna have fight demos. We're gonna have maker tutorials. There's gonna be cars. There's gonna be statues. And this is the thing I'm most excited about. It is the most unbelievable Stan Lee museum you are ever going to see. What they have planned for this museum is insane. There'll be a little sneak peek of it if you're in the LA area on Friday on KTTV, Fox, the afternoon 5 o'clock news it'll be on. It's worth the price of admission alone, seriously. It's like Disneyland, but Stan Lee style. It is unreal. So if you're watching this live stream and you do not have your tickets to Comikaze, what are you waiting for? Go to kamikazeexpo.com and get your tickets now. Sign up for our newsletter to get more information throughout the year. Guys, does that sound amazing? Have we put together a good show for you? Excited? All right, I'm out of breath. And I'm really happy that I haven't had to answer email for the last hour because it's my one break, but it's crazy. And I look forward to seeing you there. Make sure if you see me, you see John, you see Stephanie, you see any of these guys, you see Regina Carpinelli, stop us and say hello because we'd love to say hi. And now I'm going to kick it back to John to talk about other nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
John Schnepp, everybody.
Nerdy
Good job,
stuff.
yeah. Comikaze sounds amazing. Like you said, you can see The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened, the film that me and Holly Payne busted our ass for 2.5 years making. We're going to be screening it on Saturday. We'll have a booth there. I think it's like booth 329. So come on down, say hi to us. We'll sign our Blu-rays for you, and we'll have a limited amount of free posters. If you buy a Blu-ray DVD, you get a free actual theatrical poster of our film. So I think that'll be Saturday and Sunday only, so come on by while supplies last.
I'm going to spoil your movie.
Yeah, spoil it. Rock it out.
The movie didn't get made.
What?
I know.
What do you mean it didn't get made?
Superman Lives did not get made.
He is right. Superman Lives didn't get made, but the documentary about Superman Lives
Hell
did get
yeah,
made.
it did.
So check it out. Also, Holly Payne has got an incredible panel on October 31st. It's Professional Nerd Girls. It's all the girls who are on the web rocking it, so you got to go check that out at 11 a.m. So it's crowded. It's a lot of stuff to do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Someone else, let's talk about a very interesting guest that we have right now. Her name is Rileah Vanderbilt. She's from Team Unicorn. Let's bring her on stage and talk about what she's been up to. Hey, Rileah, what's going on?
How are you?
Hey, everything's going good. We're just filling up the Stanley's
nerdy things,
Comikaze,
doing
talking
geeky
about
things.
yeah. We're gonna bounce
like
to
it.
Stephanie and talk about Loot Crate in a
Yeah.
few minutes. But I wanted to introduce you and say, what have you been up to? Like, how did Team Unicorn even start?
Oh, Team Unicorn. Well, we started, I guess, 5 years ago, and basically there was 4 of us. We were just friends, and we were girls who were nerds, and we decided we were going to cosplay at San Diego Comic-Con in 2010, and we did a Sailor Moon cosplay, and it was super, super fun, and it just, I don't know, when you're filled with nerd passion, it has to go somewhere, and we're all actors and nerds, and we came up with a song, Geeking Gamer Girls, and it was supposed to be a one-off, and we did it and realized that maybe there was something there, and we needed to continue making things. So that's kind of how Team Unicorn was born.
Nice.
Yeah, it was just Team Unicorn, even the name, it was just a fake band name,
Right.
like Josie and the Pussycats, but Team Unicorn. And then that's kind of how it started. And then we went on to make stuff about zombies and aliens and, you know, Star Wars.
Totally. Yeah. No, I've seen some of the videos. They're all
Yeah.
great. They're really entertaining.
Yeah.
So you're doing something now with Team Unicorn, right? Like clothing.
We are. So when we set out to do Team Unicorn, we didn't just want it to be internet media. We wanted it to be a bigger brand. And so we have teamed up with We Love Fine. We're one of their partners.
We Love Fine is great. They're like making
They're,
incredible
like, the
T-shirts.
best.
They're Mighty Fine. You might have heard of them.
Yeah.
You always got to go check out We Love Fine and see what new stuff you can.
Well, the
rock.
great thing about them is they have all these different artists, and they're very collaborative with their fans. And us as fans, but also, you know, a brand, we decided to collaborate with them. And so they just like kick over stuff to us and are like, do you have anything for like Back to the Future? Or do you have anything for Ghostbusters that, you know, comes to mind? And, you know, we kind of run our ideas and then they make them, and it's just kind of like magic. It's like, hey, I have this idea, and then it gets made, so.
So the Back to the Future dress with like the tire,
Yeah.
with everything on fire from the DeLorean taking off is great.
Yes, and we're doing a huge promotion with that tomorrow because it's Marty McFly Day.
That's right. Tomorrow is
So
actually
cool.
the day that Marty McFly came back to
us.
our future
Yes.
yesterday or tomorrow
He
at
gets
like
sent back
4:27
today.
p.m.
Something, yeah.
Like, they're like doing a bunch of like really cool stuff. So
Yeah,
this is one of
yeah.
the tie-ins to.
So we'll be promoting our dress. I'll be wearing my dress because, you know, it's cool. But yeah, so we've been making a lot of stuff for them, which is really fun.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another company that's pretty exciting, Loot Crate. None of you have heard of Loot Crate. They just started up like about 2 years ago. But Stephanie over here has got an amazing bit about Loot Crate.
Thanks, John. Anyone here a fan of subscription services? Anyone? Anyone?
Magazines.
Subscription services have become really big, especially the boxes, the cool boxes you get in the mail that have different stuff in them. There's tons of them out there. But have you ever wondered what goes into making a subscription box? I did. So I went to Loot Crate this week and got to learn all about how a Loot Crate is made before it gets to you. So let's check it out. Hey, it's Stephanie, and I'm in Los Angeles at Loot Crate headquarters to find out what goes into making this really cool, nerdy subscription box. So I'm here with Matthew, who is one of the co-founders of Loot Crate. So how did this whole thing get started?
My co-founder Chris was interested in doing something in the subscription box space, he came and pitched the idea of a geek and gaming kind of box.
I think what makes Loot Crate stand out is, well, we were one of the very first, actually we were the first Geek and Gamer subscription box. But we just have a lot of passion for the things that we are putting in the boxes. We focus on community as well as product.
How long does it take to put a crate together?
They're quite a ways in advance. Usually I'd estimate about 5 months in advance.
So Loot Crate has a lot of multimedia projects. You guys put out videos, you put out the magazine every month. How is that important as part of the Loot Crate brand?
I think it's all part of, like, we just want to give back to the looters. It's all part of the experience, the crate experience. Like, yeah, we could send out just like a plain crate, but it's the additional things that we put into it, I think, that really just kind of wraps the whole thing together. So we also have like kind of a digital experience that comes with every crate. Last month's crate had a downloadable app, so you hold it up to the crate, and then it's kind of like a pop-up game on your phone. And so it's just like these little extra things that we do.
So Mandy, what makes Loot Crate so special? It's the fact that we are kind of geeks buying for other geeks.
So these are just some of the crates that we've done. I try to put a little thing together so people can see past stuff. But you know, in all honesty, everything that we've done, that I've done, is also on our website, on all the past crate stuff. You can see all that.
Are you guys going to do anything special at Comikaze?
Been really excited about being a part of and working with Keith and Regina and the whole team there. With Comikaze, we can actually work hand in hand and collaborate and do really fun stuff.
Right.
We can do something that is a little bit more engaging and kind of one-on-one with people.
Thanks so much to our friends at Loot Crate for having us. And if you would like to get a Loot Crate subscription of your own, use code Comikaze15 for 12% off all subscriptions. Now, I'm going to just pack myself up, so maybe they will take me with them to Comikaze. So that crate is very special, limited edition, and will be shipping very soon. I got my Loot Crate for this month today in the mail and have not opened it yet. That is a lot of hard work to not open it right away, but I do my unboxing videos and am part of the Loot Crate community. But you know what I really want to hear more about? Team Unicorn. So I'm gonna throw it back to you, John. I want to hear more about Team Unicorn. I'm a big fan.
I was gonna say, not to brag, but I totally got that Loot Crate creepy box. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, and I totally
New
opened
York?
it, and it was totally awesome, everything that was inside. I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's really cool stuff in there. I'll spoil one thing. There's an Umbrella Corp umbrella inside. Like a Resident Evil umbrella. Like people, I've seen people with tattoos of the Umbrella Corp thing. This is an actual umbrella. It's insane.
You think they would have come up with those already, though?
Huh?
You think this wouldn't be the first time somebody's come
Somebody
up with
probably,
this,
a
right?
bunch of nerds in
Right?
Sweden are like, but we have our umbrella. I'm like, sorry, lost out, son. Loot Crate got it.
Loot
so
Crate.
let's talk about.
The Creepy Crate, I think, was an exclusive from New York Comic Con, though, right? You got it at
Oh,
New York
no.
Comic Con?
Yes, I did.
So you're one of the few and lucky that got that little
It's good.
special edition crate.
I
Very
would just
good.
like to say, you suck.
Hey, Keith. Sorry, man. Work your magic. You can get one. The CEO of Comikaze would also like a creepy Loot Crate. So try to work it out, Loot Crate. You'll figure it out. Rileah, let's talk about some news. Let's talk about Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel?
The
What are we
ultimate
talking about?
Diesel nerd.
Yes.
So
Oh my gosh.
he wants to do a D&D movie.
Can that happen?
It
we
better
need that
happen.
we need that to happen.
Wait, didn't it just kind of happen with the real witch of the last witch hunter? That kind of starts to skirt around the world of D&D.
Sure.
Well,
sure.
witches,
Right.
vampires, guy with flaming
it's not
sword.
A far reach,
Yeah,
I
it's
guess.
not that far. And he's been rocking like all kinds of stuff. The necromongers from Riddick. I don't know if you guys remember the Riddick, the Chronicles of Riddick. It's kind of
Chronicles of
like
Riddick.
Dune, but with Vin Diesel in it.
Yeah.
You gotta love it. It's like Vin Diesel's such a big nerd.
He's great, you know. Yeah, he's a huge nerd, and I've heard rumors for years that on his movies he would actually fly his GM out to play games with him to set, which I think is really kind of fun and uber nerdy.
Well, the
and-
dungeon master who is friends with Vin Diesel was very lucky. He's like, I only fly first class. Where's my private jet?
probably does. Just
So
flies
this
him
giant
out.
dodecahedron,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, yeah, Vin Diesel plays in style.
Yeah.
He has diamond encrusted, dye. Everything is giant and big. He rides in on a giant mechanical dragon.
Oh my God.
That should be in the movie.
Do you
That's
think
in
he
my
plays
mind
a
now.
halfling? Like only a halfling?
Like
That'd be
maybe
cool.
he plays like a very fragile old halfling that's like very weak.
I would love that.
That always has to be carried around in a diamond encrusted egg.
And he's a
That they
bard.
lift out.
Amazing.
Look, Vin Diesel's inside. Then no, he's not. So
Now that visual is in my head
I
forever.
want that visual that's burned into everyone's
love
brain.
it.
Anyway,
I love
I
it.
want to see Vin Diesel do a D&D
Yes, me
movie.
too.
I will
In.
give him that
I'm
money.
in.
Yeah, you've got my
You have my cash.
$17. I'm going to see it in D-Box where the seat's all shaking. You got my $22. So let's move on. Let's talk about Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. So now they're like busting out these trailers like a couple days
Yeah.
before Star Wars.
And everybody's kind of in it, right?
Everyone-
like
it's-
everybody
yeah.
who's anybody is now in the Mockingjay.
Yeah, and it's ending.
Yeah,
I guess.
it's the end. Well, unless they want to do prequels.
They will
or
do,
something.
yeah. Well, there's money to be
again.
found in the Hunger Games. I heard someone told me that. But yeah, they're like, oh, well, what do you mean it's ending? They've got all these different states, all the different,
Yeah. Yeah,
groups.
I mean, eventually it has to end though.
Eventually.
Yeah.
We'll be long dead by the time. It'll still be
Yeah.
on. Hunger Games Part 78. So who knows? Let's go back to Back to the Future for a minute. They actually
Yeah.
have a working hoverboard now.
Yeah, is there a Kickstarter? Where can I send my money and can I get one?
That's right. I don't know.
All I want to know.
I don't
I
even
want one
know
of
if it's a
those.
Kickstarter thing. I think they were just like, yo, we're just selling this. We're gonna, as soon as they figure it out. They had one that didn't
They're
really
close.
work.
I
yeah.
mean, they're close. They're
It's
close to
kind of
figuring it out.
big. It's in, like magnetic or something. I don't know how it works. Magic. It's like a D&D thing. They have witches inside
yeah.
of it that are like, they basically shrunk 3,000 witches, and they're all on their brooms like, we're powering this.
Yeah.
Just keep working it. You
Just
know?
do it.
Yeah.
Just go.
So
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not be? I mean, it's technology.
I want
and
to see someone wearing your dress
On-
working that hoverboard. The Back to the Future dress, that's the perfect tie-in. You will
Yeah.
sell so many dresses.
Well, it's sciencey, and actually with science, there's with We Love Fun, we're actually doing a lot of stuff for science. Like for us, STEM is really important. STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. And women in STEM too. So we've actually made a whole bunch of like NASA T-shirts that are super
I
super
saw
fun.
those. Those are awesome.
And then we've got some more STEM stuff coming out. I can't talk about them right now because they're not out yet.
Well,
but
some people should immediately order these NASA T-shirts.
Oh my God, they're so fun.
Anybody who supports NASA is a friend of mine because it's like that's the ultimate nerd dream to go to the moon.
I mean, it's space.
Yeah,
You
who's
gotta
going to
love
get
space.
you to space? NASA is. I think, or Richard Branson or whatever. It's like
Somebody.
Virgin America
Somebody will
or
get us
NASA
there. Yeah.
are going to get you in
Yeah.
outer space.
One of the two.
Stephanie, why don't we see what's going on in the Twitter sphere? What nerds are writing in right now?
Well, in our chat, we have Carolyn Hines, Jack Sat, Faquad, iAeros. Actually, iAeros is going to be in LA the week of Comikaze, so I want to give him a ticket to Comikaze. Is that
Do it.
cool, guys? Can I give him a ticket?
Yeah.
Okay, so Miguel Sanchez, you've got a ticket waiting for you at Comikaze. Jack was talking about Star Wars and football. Carolyn Hines loves Phil LaMarr. She loves Mad TV. She misses Miss Swan, she says. And Faquad has been talking about Raw on the Space Night because you
Right, show
brought it
some
up.
support for Quad. Smart man. I don't know what Phil's talking about hating on Rom.
And for our audience, I'm going to give out this copy of Captain Marvel. Who needs a Captain Marvel?
All
In the
hands.
back there.
We just went from very fine to no good, non-mint.
Oh, and hoverboards. Yeah, I would like one also, please. Write my name down on that list of people receiving one. I would like one very much.
Here, the people who are making the hoverboards to make sure that Stephanie has one. Powered by 3,000 witches.
I have no problem. I like 3,000 witches beneath my feet.
Hey, little tiny witches. You have to feed them. That's the thing they don't tell you about. They're like sea monkeys. So it's sort of like, I didn't know what was going to happen. Where's the little crown? They're like weird creatures. It's scary. The hoverboard technology is really weird. They're still working on it. Speaking of
What do you
hoverboards,
feed 3,000 little witches?
I don't even want to get
3,000
into it.
sandwiches.
Oh, I know. It's like 3,000 tiny sandwiches. Speaking of sandwiches, our next guest loves to eat witches. His name is Jonathan Mangum, and you might know him from Whose Line Is It Anyway? And let's make a deal. Let's get him on set. Come on, Jonathan Mangum. He's got the hoverboard.
Thank you, witches. You may be released.
There you
man. How are you?
What's going on, man?
So, see, I just had a terrible revelation listening to all this exciting Comikaze and all this stuff. And nerdism is so mainstream now that I worry the movies of the next 10 years are going to be the underdogs or the jocks, and they have to use their brawn to defeat the nerds and their intellect. And then our kids, like 10 years from now, will be going to jock conventions and like drinking protein powder and reading Men's Health, and I'm just horrified.
It's already started, man.
Has it really?
Look at the jocks had to force people like us to watch their dumb football.
Oh my
They're like,
God.
we'll put a Star Wars thing in the middle. All right. I'll watch you guys like run around and hurt each other for like a minute, then I'm back on the internet. How many timeouts is in this game?
I know, it's
It
ridiculous.
says 4 minutes and then it's an hour.
It's ridiculous.
4 minutes in the first quarter. An hour.
Oh, God.
They got it rigged, son.
It's changing.
I know. I feel bad for jocks. No, I don't.
Well,
I really
all the
don't.
girls are cosplaying, so they're stuck.
I know the nerds got them, yo.
Yeah.
It's been a flip
Victory.
around, son.
But then
Victory.
now we're the Empire, and so it's all.
I
hell
would
from here.
love to stay being the Empire. In the situation that we're in right now, I will completely be a Vader.
All right, cool.
So what's going on with you? What's going on? You're doing Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Doing Whose Line, which is on the CW now. It used to
Right
be on
on.
ABC, so that's a super blast. Doing a game show called Let's Make a Deal with my buddy Wayne Brady.
Right on. That's fantastic.
Yeah, thanks. It's on in the daytime, so if you're not a lot of people our age are at home during the daytime, but
Right on.
if you have the flu, or if you're an older person, enjoy
And also
it.
people can TiVo that, or
Yeah, you can
DVR it, or you can like do all these kinds of. All the networks now have the ability for like you to watch anything.
What?
I know it's weird. We're the future we live in. Hoverboards, tiny witches, and like people can just instantly watch anything they want at any given time.
I love it.
Kind of a cool future we live in. What do you think? Let's go into some topics. What do you think about Godzilla, the newest Godzilla movie?
This is the Godzilla versus Kong. Is that the one you're talking
Yeah,
about?
but I just want to know about what did you get this chance to see the new Godzilla that just came out?
I think I saw some. I fell asleep in some recent movies because I
Right.
take my kids, and it's the only time to have them not talking to me. So it's like,
Daddy's nap time. Oh God! Oh, credits! Oh, it was
Exactly.
amazing.
Exactly.
Now I want. Tell me about the film. Did they
yeah,
ask you
it's the
about?
only time they don't talk. I love them. I love you kids if you're watching, but they don't stop talking at all, except for movies. So it's daddy's sleep time.
So constant stream of movies is something that you look forward to.
Exactly.
Now you can now you've got King Kong.
Well, that's what I was
Yeah.
curious about because it's Godzilla is 500 feet tall.
Yeah, he's giant, yeah.
And King Kong is 50 feet tall.
Well, let's go back a little bit. The version of King Kong that Peter Jackson was doing was 50 feet tall. They got a brand new thing. It was called Skull Island.
Yeah.
Then they added Kong to it.
Right.
So it's Kong Skull Island. So just in case you didn't know. And then some pre-production art popped off like a couple days ago, and it's a gigantic ape skull that
Wow.
you have to walk through. It's not the two like old school like we've got to get through this giant wall of giant door or something.
yeah,
it's a giant skull
An
that you walk through.
encephalitic gorilla.
Yeah, it's frightening.
Humans are responsible for much of the damage on the Earth, and
Yes.
they're doing most of the damage.
Thank
science
God we
tells
can
us.
take that credit, right, guys?
Exactly. Well, what I'm saying, so I think instead of Godzilla versus King Kong, it should be Godzilla, lowercase n, Kong. Godzilla and Kong. And so the little one, the 50-foot one, rides on the big fighter.
Oh, I like it.
He's like, don't use your fire here, you'll anger them. Block their ports to decrease their economic viability.
So Godzilla also can talk. in your
that
version.
was Kong
Well, that's
talking
Kong
to,
talking.
because
Oh,
Kong
okay.
he has the primate brain.
I like it either way. Or Godzilla just talks. I would like Godzilla, the giant one, to have that voice, and the baby Kong's like, all right, go. That reminds me of Donkey Kong Jr.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
remember your little baby ape with the diaper, and you're like, I'm trying to save my dad. And
Yeah,
bananas and crazy weird fish trying to eat you. It's very tense.
Yeah.
Those games, the older games, made you sweat a lot more than the newer games that are all super realistic. I can look and turn around everywhere. The old games are just flat and
Yeah.
strangely more tense.
Although 2D gaming has made quite a comeback.
That's
there's
true.
a lot of great independent gamers will do things
And they
like
got
that.
tons of barcades. They're like, hey, remember though when you were young? What's this? You're walking with a walker. What? God, centipede? Oh God, with the trackball. Oh my God, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Been
so King Kong's coming back. Speaking of, we also got a giant alien artifact that a bunch of real scientists we're creeping into reality, not King Kong and like fake stuff.
There's a real.
They're talking about aliens.
Wow.
They're like, we found some kind of mega structure, and I'm like, what? Like 1.5 million light years away, which is basically we can get there in 1,500 years or 1,500 years
Right.
if we could travel the speed of light.
But it's a planet. What is the shape that you're saying?
It is
this
well, what they're saying, and remember, these are scientists who are looking at weird shapes.
Top scientists.
Yeah, but this is the scary part, or awesome part, however you want to spin it, is it's like real scientists not saying, well, we don't know what it is, it's some kind of weird anomaly, it's a shadow. Like, all of them are saying it's a bizarre alien superstructure, obviously built by a highly intelligent race. It's not a Dyson sphere, and you're like, yo, dude, I don't even know what a Dyson sphere is. Stop talking with all this super knowledge, I need to know.
Yeah.
And they kind of broke it down. A Dyson sphere is this one kind of thing that collects solar energy, and they're like, it's definitely not that. And all I want to know is like, what photos are you looking at, and why can't we normal humans see them?
Yeah, don't they
share it?
Don't they normally release? Doesn't NASA usually put out the high photo quality thing?
Yeah, after years, literally.
It's an inconsistent flicker of a star that's not that doesn't seem to indicate anything that we know. So the sort of the prevailing theory right now, which they admit isn't likely, is that it's a whole bunch of comets going around the star. But the only one the theory that best fits it is that somehow some aliens built like a solar array around it to collect the energy, and it's spinning and blocking the light at abnormal times and not in any recognizable pattern.
Wow.
So that's what it is.
Yeah, so and if that is what it is, that means they're like way more advanced than us.
It's
And
the
then
jocks.
it
They've
could-
gone into
yeah,
the future
they
to
left.
attack us.
Yes. We got to build a Dyson sphere, dudes. Yo, bro, all right, here. Yeah. You're going to get those nerds in 17 million years.
Exactly.
Yeah, once they're just a giant neck with muscles, they're like, we're back. Yeah, they're like a weird sponge squid. I am the former jock, you know. So. Well, you know, it's kind of frightening. Like Stephen Hawking was always saying, we don't want to kind of alert aliens about our presence because they would immediately make us food.
Yeah.
So that's what I
we do.
mean. What we eat tons of animals all the time.
Who came up
so.
with there's a classification of how far along you have to be in a growth of a planet.
Right.
I forget the name of that, but I wonder where that fits in. If it's in, I think we're in 2 now, and then there's a level
the
3.
dudes who are the aliens who are making the superstructure, they're like 11.
Yeah, they're 11.
And they're like, if they haven't noticed us yet, and we're like sending out beams to them now with sending, like, let's send them some magnetic rays and stuff. They're like, yo, what's that, son?
Yeah, exactly.
And they just like fold space, and they're instantly here. Like, because they're like, oh, we've got that technology. We fold space, like in Dune. We've read your Frank Herbert novel. We're like, what's going on? It can get freaky. Let's talk about something.
He knows.
I know, right? Beam up. Let's talk about the black burger from Burger King. I heard it makes people poo green poo.
What show is this now?
This is about non-edible edibles. It just turned into this.
There's a
really
black
quick.
burger. I haven't heard.
There's like they advertise as like, do you want to get dark and gothy? Or I don't know how they advertise it. It's like a black.
Spooky Halloween.
Yeah, it's like a Halloween
Halloween
burger.
Halloween
There you go.
burger.
Let's tie it into Halloween instead of this weird stuff I'm talking about. Anyway, that's how they're advertising it. But you also, I don't know if that's part of the thing. They're like, poo green. Eat our burger. But I guess what happens when you eat the burger is you poo green.
Poo green. Wow.
Yeah. And then eat some blueberry and poo purple.
Oh man.
Or green, I can't remember.
You could eat back and forth and then make like a Grinch scarf.
That's right. Or artwork that Keith Tralins will buy because he's a collector. He'll be like, I want that poo, but I want the green poo.
But it really makes me worry about the Shamrock Shake.
What do you have to eat to make that?
Yeah.
Apparently, black hamburgers.
Who?
Well, let's talk about Open Carry.
Open Carry.
That's your brand new website.
Yeah, it's a web series I created about a bunch of people that want to open carry their weapons at different public places. I put my buddy Wayne Brady in it. He plays a hilarious guy. And kind of the creation of it is I made it with a guy named Aaron Shore, who's an executive producer from The Office and from Everyone Loves Raymond. And I'm from the South, so I've kind of got the libertarian tendencies. I have friends that have had guns, and they're responsible with them, and they're hunters, and they would never shoot anyone. So I know there's responsible gun owners out there.
Right.
My friend Aaron is much more on the liberal side. Guns are bad, and so we thought we could, together create this group of people that we're not just making fun of people that walk around with their weapons.
It's both sides to the argument.
Kind of both sides
That's
of the
great.
argument. So you can see that at opencarryshow.com. We'll take you to the YouTube trailer, and then if you like the trailer, you can go to Vimeo. There's a link where you can rent the first webisode for 99 cents.
That's awesome.
And then we'll use that funding to make the second episode. But,
Yeah, and working with Wayne has got to be great.
oh yeah, we've
Like
been pals for 20 years.
I mean,
so.
I first found out how funny he was on the Chappelle show. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that man is incredibly funny.
He's a genius at what he does.
Yeah.
He really is.
So if you want to check it out, go to Vimeo and support him. Pop off. I think it's what is it, $1?
It's the trailer's free on YouTube,
Right.
and then if you want to go to Vimeo, it's 99 cents.
So you can see the whole episode for 99 cents.
Yeah, it's
and that money goes.
opencarryshow.com.
That money goes towards supporting the next episode.
Correct,
So
yes.
help make some more funny stuff. So the other thing I want to talk about is The House at the End of the Drive.
Yeah.
So that's a film that's actually screening at Comikaze. And how are you tied into this house?
It's funny. Well, we made this movie a long time ago, and the guy, David Oman, is the guy that owns a house that is actually kind of part of the property of where the Sharon Tate murders happened, where Manson sent these people out. And this guy, David, is sure that his house is haunted. And he has done all kinds of shows where these have experts out, and there's on all these ghost shows on cable.
Right.
He's always like in one episode. He's crazy.
Right.
Ghosts are not real. But I was in the movie that he made about it. Sorry, David, you're a nut job.
Yeah, it's like you should bring him some of those black burgers. Look, dude, have 5 of these, and a ghost's gonna come out of your butt.
Woo.
Yeah, you're gonna get ectoplasm ghosts. It's really weird if you eat these special burgers.
Casper.
That's right.
So that'll be screening, and it's a horror flick, and it was fun to do, and I wear a wig at one point. So
Awesome.
there you go.
Well, I can't wait to see. I'm gonna check it out. The House at the End of the Drive.
Yes.
With what's the guy's name? Spooky guy who believes in ghosts.
David Oman, the director.
Okay, awesome, man. Well, Stephanie, let's see what's going on in the chat board.
We actually have a question for Keith, which came from Twitter. It was from the Ionius, also known as RG. He asked, when will the full list of exclusives be released?
So the full list of exclusives, if I'm correct, if it's not up now, it will be up in the next couple of days. I've seen it, and it's amazing. We've got some really great merchandise that's exclusive. You guys might have seen the Platinum Stan Lee pop that's going to be available only at Comikaze. And, of course, the Stan Lee as a superhero pop that's also going to only be available at Comikaze. We also have, and I'm very excited about this one, we have a pop of U.S. Agent. And those are going to be available at the Hot Topic booth. So get there early. There's not going to be a lot of them. Should be enough if you get there in a reasonable time. You should be okay. Don't come walking in at 5 o'clock on Saturday expecting to get one, though. And then there's a ton of other exclusives that are coming up, too. There's a lot of prints that are exclusive to Comikaze. So it will be up within the next couple of days. I know because we were just working on it. We were just approving it all right before the show. So it is coming. Thank you for the question.
Awesome. Also, I'm a little power hungry, and I want to give away another ticket. Can I give away another ticket?
Yes, you may.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, this person is in the chat and they're also in the room. I love this when we have our audience members joining the chat. And so Che Hightower, who is Dice XO, I want to give him a ticket. So make sure you guys are in the chat. We are still live. If you are watching the stream live, go in the chat and talk to me. Keep me company in here. It's warm and fuzzy or with you in it. And I'm going to throw it back to John.
And guess what? You know where I'm throwing it? I'm going to throw it back to Keith.
Yes, because we love to throw. That's the way we roll. I wanted to talk for just one more second. Maybe you guys can pick up on this. The Cosplay National Championship. This is a huge, huge deal. Regina Carpinelli, who is the founder of Comikaze. If you watched Fangasm, you've seen her. If you've been to the show, you've definitely seen her. Definitely stop and say hi to her. She worked really, really hard on putting together an amazing group of judges with the other folks that are behind the Cosplay National Championship. And I just wanted to say who they were because it's amazing, this lineup of judges. It's Michelle Visage, who is a pop star. She's a judge on RuPaul's Drag Race, and she has fabulous style. Chad Michaels, basically she is Cher. She's the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars and a wonderful designer. And we have some Costume Designer Guild board members. We have Philip Boutet, who's a costume concept artist for every major geek movie. X-Men, Wolverine, Star Trek, Man of Steel. This is the guy that worked on it. We have Christine Burke, who's a costume designer for The Conjuring and Insidious. We have Kristen Haag, who's the costume designer for Tron, Legacy, True Blood. These are the people that are going to be deciding who wins over $10,000 $1,000. You are gonna want to be there because this is the best cosplay of the year, the best cosplay in the country with the best judges. You're not gonna want to miss it. And great job, Regina, and the rest of the team for putting those judges together. All right, that's my cosplay national championship spiel. See you there. I'm gonna throw back to John.
Hey. So we are sitting now with all the guests. Let's cut to it wide so you can check everybody out. We're all here.
Cut wide!
What? So
You're like a hairy Charlie Rose.
hey, I take that as a compliment. It was. If Charlie Rose was a Sasquatch. I brought all you guys back here to talk about something that was really important to me.
It was really bothering me.
It was bothering me.
Like, why did you say that?
Yeah. I just wanted all of us to address it. Actually, what I wanted to address is the new Star Wars everything. The Star Wars poster that dropped on Sunday, and then on Monday, literally, there was
John, why would you want to talk about that? Nobody has an opinion on
Kind
that.
of weird.
Nobody's been talking
Nobody
about
It's
it.
weird.
Right?
I figured, I didn't want to feel alone in my only opinion and just open it up to everyone else who had to watch football.
If you don't say spoilers right now, are you going to piss off the internet?
You know what? I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm
Spoil
gonna
a
let
trailer?
my guests spoil the trailer. No, I mean, some people actually don't want to watch the trailer. I asked our studio audience, I was like expecting maybe one person, like, nah, I didn't see it because I was busy. Half the audience haven't seen it, and at least half of those people were like, I don't want to see it because I don't want to ruin any more of the film. I feel like even just seeing like the 30-second, Chewie, we're home, and they cried, and after they cried, yeah, I mean, I had a tear,
Well,
maybe.
that's like a burqa of the mind. What are you doing? It's like, no, I'm not even gonna look at the poster. Don't say Star Wars. No. Don't say the word.
It's the Force.
It's more than that. Like I'm one to say that every single trailer that has come out, I have been. Maybe it's just I'm emotional. Maybe I'm an emotional person, or maybe I'm just nostalgic. But I've cried at every single one. Yet at the same time, I felt like I didn't need this trailer. I saw it, but I didn't need it. The other ones, the teasers, were good enough. They showed just enough to get me super excited without needing more.
I like to watch it after I've seen the movie, so then I can go, oh, I wish I could have seen the movie that the trailer made me think we were going to watch.
Right. Or even better, like, how come they didn't put that in the movie?
Yeah.
Because they always have these weird, like, we didn't use that camera angle that you got so used to seeing in the trailer. We went with the other camera angle, which now is somewhat disappointing to you.
Yeah.
Like, I was expecting to see the close-up, but you went with the weird angle that's not in the trailer.
I'm going to make my own right now.
I'm making a secret fan edit of just that.
Exactly.
Yeah, just that scene. So, I mean, I agree with Stephanie what she's talking about, but I'm one of those people like, bring on the spoilers. It doesn't bother me. I love it. I want to, what happens at the end? Because then I'm going to see it, and I'm going to see it executed.
Here's the thing, though. What they got right with it is that it isn't a spoiler.
No. It
I
tells
don't
you
know
nothing.
anything about the plot in the 2 minutes that I saw last night. The visuals are amazing. The imagery is fantastic. It tugs at the heartstrings the right amount. You saw just enough of stuff you love, a lot of interesting new, and it's beautiful. Right. I don't know what's going to happen.
No.
It hasn't, what a lot of trailers today do is ruin the movie. In 2.5 minutes, I know everything that's going to happen. You showed me every great punchline. And done. I don't need to go to the cinema.
And Bernie, you know what the beauty of this trailer is for the people who are like worried about seeing too much? This trailer basically is just an extended edition of the middle trailer where Chewie, we're home, and everybody cries.
Don't say extended edition when you mention Star Wars. Please never say that again.
Sorry, let me say expanded, inflated edition.
Oh,
no, it's basically all the scenes that you've already seen, but just with maybe the heads or tails or a different angle of it. So they're incredibly smart. The way they constructed this trailer is they had Chewie, we're home, and then they took that same Han Solo sequence and gave a little bit more to the flavor, like everything is true. The dark side, the Jedi, everything, it's all real. And people are like, what? Freaking out. If you watch this trailer, you might cry again, because it's so...
I mean, I did. I actually waited until this afternoon to watch it, because I was out last night, and there was no way I was going to watch it on my phone, because, please, I need 40-inch screen, surround sound. Like, you got to do it right. It's Star Wars. So I waited. And I actually filmed my reaction to it, which was fun because I'm just a girl and just tears and tears and tears. But I will say, after watching it a couple more times, being really excited, and I think I was more excited because of the nostalgia of it. You see these characters that you loved when you were a kid, and there they are again, and you're just like, oh my God. It was a little busy. I have to say that I just felt like they were throwing a lot of little things in there where I didn't think they needed to. But again, good trailer. But I might agree with you. You know, the Chewie We're Home one, I could have lived on that. I could have lived on that one.
Yeah. The chat actually had a question for you guys about it. I haven't seen it, but they're saying there's a reaction video from the actors in the film.
John Boyega's reaction.
Yeah, have you guys,
Daisy
have you
Ridley
guys
was
seen
So
it?
cute, so cute.
They're great.
Love it.
Daisy is basically giggling and starts to
then-
cry and is very happy. And Boyega's like, yes, 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 yo, and like flips
just
over the couch.
freaks out.
It's like I'm still in it.
Yeah. But the scene that he's flipping over, the scene that he's flipping over
Is his scene at the
is
end.
scene at
You
the
know
end,
it's
which
his
is just,
scene.
it's so badass. You know, like, I was one of those doubters, like after Phantom Menace destroyed and crushed my dreams.
Yeah, like all of our
And then there were
dreams.
two other extremely boring, weird ones that came after
Just go
that.
watch the micro
I
series.
know.
You'll be
It's
fine.
like,
Exists.
so, but you know, then even before this Force Awakens came out, they released this Rebels Season 2, like an episode of it. And all the people I work with were like, you've got to see it. And especially Christian Harloff, who does the schmoes. No, he was like, Schnepp, you just got to, just watch this one. I was like, leave me alone with your weird Clone Wars stuff. And he was like, no, you just got to sit down. I was like, all right. And he had that pilot, the two-parter with Darth Vader in it. And I got to say, it's incredible. It really is the most Star Wars-y thing I've ever seen that isn't the first original 3 Star Wars. It beats out all of the prequels to feel like I just felt I watched a Star Wars movie mini thing.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. I mean, there is something magical at the core of this. And even George Lucas can't kill it.
Though he tried.
He did try.
Misa trying. I'm sorry.
Well, you know the big problem with Jar Jar? Misa sounds so much like Massa.
Yeah. Well, and let's not even bring in the, where are we doing with this Chinese-Japanese accent?
I watched that movie and I tried to think, what horrible ethnic stereotype did he miss?
Right, he got Watto.
Hey, what are you doing?
Sell you a couple of things, I'll give you a discount. Look at my schnoz. You're like, what are you doing, dude?
No, you know what he missed?
What?
What's going on? I'm a good light to say.
Totally, oh
That's
my
the
God.
only thing that's
He
not
did.
in
I'm
there.
a pizza man with a light. Hey, come and check out my croissant.
Hey, there's too many Mexicorians in this.
You got
guys-
missing a Mexicorian.
You guys, I totally remember Luigi in that.
So, hey, look, you know, some people were boning on the poster as well. I thought the poster was great. I thought it
gorgeous.
was really fun.
I thought
Phil
that my
LaMarr,
friend
you're
did
the hater of the
the
group.
No,
right now.
I'm hating on the haters.
Okay,
Well,
good.
you know about the racists that don't want you
Oh!
to boycott?
Oh,
They're
that doesn't
boycotting
even
the
really
movie.
exist.
Is that
They're
real?
no, it's
That's
it's
like
a
4
whole bunch of
dudes.
trolls just
Yeah.
trying to get some like reaction.
Yeah, that
I don't
can't-
even
I
get
think it's Jimmy Kimmel, like pulling
do you?
America's
It
leg.
Could be.
I really do.
Could be.
Yes, Jimmy Kimmel and all his white genocide bits. I love it when he does that.
High comedy.
Yesterday, Star Wars literally shut down the internet. So everyone was trying to buy a ticket. I got lucky. I just kind of
We all
walked.
get our tickets, by the way.
Yeah, I
Yes.
walked in and some friends at work were already online. Like, Schnepp, do you want a ticket? I was like, yeah, get me 4.
Friends go to the
It
movie
was so
theater
smooth.
yesterday.
It just closed down literally right after. Your tickets are secure.
You did it.
I know.
You
I
shut the
blew
whole
up
thing.
the internet.
But
As
the
much
good
as I'm
news is, guys, is that the theaters have paid attention and they've opened up more screenings today.
Oh, good.
So if you didn't get them yesterday, go get them today.
Now, Star Wars oversold, like Hunger Games, up until this point, was the biggest pre-sale they've ever had. It was like they were like, nothing will ever beat it. Star Wars oversold it by 8 times the amount.
Of course.
I mean, but here's the thing: a Christmas movie usually doesn't break 90 million. That's just like if you look at the box office. And I was saying a couple months ago, I was like, this is going to break 200 million. Some other people wouldn't believe me until 2 days ago. So I'm sorry. You know who you are. If you're watching this, you were wrong. I was right. It's okay to be wrong.
I'm excited to see it, but what excites me more is some 20-year-old dude that's the next Lucas that has a whole universe that we don't know about yet.
Totally.
Like, I want that again. I want 4, 5, and 6 again from a different point of view, in a different world, a different universe. Because this is nostalgic and great, but I feel like the best we've seen.
Yeah.
Right?
But aren't you excited about the fact that your kids will get to see Star Wars?
Well, it's my nap time during the Star Wars. Like we talked
He's like, it shouldn't be good. It should be something that I can sleep through.
Exactly.
Yeah. So selfishly, he wants the Star Wars to suck.
Yeah.
A little
Just so he can
I'll
sleep.
give you that. But let's talk about money for a second. So we're talking about Star Wars. It just made incredible bucket loads of money where they're like, just take over all the theaters. I don't care what's playing. Make sure Star Wars is in all 17 cineplexes.
And one Helen Mirren movie.
That's right. Just one independent
Counter
film.
program,
Right.
bitches.
Meryl Streep, and then all Star Wars. Yeah. Anything like that. So, but we're talking about Batman v Superman, the courtroom drama that's coming out. People forget. I keep reminding them, it's in the trailer. You see Superman in that courtroom. They forget that that's going to be at least an hour and a half of the entire film. But to be serious, right, $410 million. Oh
my God,
is
can
the
Sam,
budget.
can Sam Waterston be in that? Mr. Kent! You!
I would pay to see that. I'm paying to see it anyway.
Yes,
so
you are.
hopefully that is
Well, that's the
happening.
thing. Nerds are paying.
Yeah.
They don't really care whether you watch the trailer, whether you like the trailer,
Right.
whether you crap on the
They'll still
trailer.
go.
You're
They'll
showing
still
up
go.
twice.
What, you didn't
Yeah,
like the
maybe
courtroom
3
drama? You
times.
were like, I didn't know it was going to be an hour and a half. Like they were joking about it. It really is. But $410 million is what the budget is. It just came out today. They said that's how much they've spent so far. That's a lot of money.
I'm selling my Warner Brothers stock now.
That is a lot of money. But look at it this way. I mean, Avengers, Infinity Wars, they're shooting both of them, part 1 and 2, back to back. And each one individually, they're saying it's costing $500 million per film.
What?
So it's $1 billion to
$1
make the Infinity Wars. Why? All of the cast. Now remember, Robert Downey Jr. makes $75 million per film. So you
Wait,
add that
up front or back end?
No, that's up front.
Wow.
Not including the back end.
Okay.
Iron Man's rich.
Yeah.
Tony Stark is
Tony
rich.
Stark is
and
rich.
so is Robert Downey Jr. So
wait. 75?
$75 million.
It's apparently there's a $250 million bucket for the cast salaries, and 150 of it is Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
And the other 100 is everybody else.
Give it to
God
him.
bless him.
And Charlie
You know
Chaplin,
what?
he's a really good actor.
You know what?
Hemsworth deserves
Weird
more.
science.
If we crowdfunded it, that's how much he should
Here's
get.
the thing,
because
though. He deserves
made
that.
comic book movies.
He deserves that because if
does.
not for the success of the first Iron Man film, we wouldn't have the rest of this. And I mean, even though a lot of us nerds sat there and fan casted him for the longest time, because you think about what slack off drunk rich guy is a good actor, and you go, there you go, RDJ, right? He's perfect for.
Well,
for
Tony
playing
never
that
went to
character.
prison.
Well, but it's because he's rich enough to get out of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I mean, if not for what he did with and how perfect he was as Tony Stark,
Absolutely.
we wouldn't have Avengers 8000 coming up in the next 30 years. So,
Yeah,
if not for him, we wouldn't have all this. And tons
And he's
of
still
money's
making less
getting-
than Seth MacFarlane.
Well, you gotta give it to everybody. You gotta give it to Chris Evans. You gotta give it to Chris Hemsworth. Every single piece of the puzzle
They're
really
practically
worked.
The
perfect.
Chris's?
Yeah.
It's incredible, and all that 450 mil that they're throwing at Batman versus Superman, it's still probably going to be awful, and by comparison. So all the money that they're throwing
wish
at
Warner
it, what they
Brothers
should
would just
really
get it
do,
right.
they just need to hire Kevin Feige, is what they need to do.
I think, and I'm not a hater on Batman v Superman. I think personally it's going to be fantastic. So
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
On
cautiously optimistic.
Why do you think that?
Well, I actually didn't hate Man of Steel. So a lot of people I absolutely hated Man of Steel. I actually
okay.
liked it.
Oh, then,
Me
yeah.
too.
I liked
That's
Watchmen.
why we're friends.
Well,
He made a documentary about a Superman movie that never got made. You're asking him why he's going to love the Superman movie. I'm just saying.
hey, I'm sorry. My documentary is 91% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. The highest rated Superman movie in history. John, I rest my case.
That is
And you
the
can buy my
best
film at
Superman movie in the last 20 years.
www.toslwh.com, by the way.
And you can see it at Comikaze Expo, October 30th through November 1st at the LA Convention Center.
That's right. So, hey,
Sorry, no
look,
plugging.
whether you love the Marvel movies or the DC movies or both, like me, they're all awesome, and we as comic book nerds, we win.
You can love something and recognize
Phil, I'm
that
trying
it's-
to
that
end
it's-
this show on a
Oh,
positive
sorry.
note. Gag him, and put him in the room. So I'm just saying you can love or hate any kind of movie, but we're just lucky right now that we live in this world that comic book nerds and movie
Sci-fi.
Watch
fans and
football.
sci-fi and fantasy, Star Wars, all these kinds of things that everyone is really appreciative of, and it's a great time to be alive, especially if you're at Stan Lee's Comikaze next weekend. You guys should come and party with all of us. Phil LaMarr will be there complaining about some movie. And he can talk to me. Like, I can't beat him. He's going to keep coming at me. But you might be able to talk some sense into this man about Round the Space Night or other things. Stephanie, where can people find you online?
You can find me on the Twitters and the Instagrams and the Books of Face at Steph Pressman. And I also want to give a shout out to Pierre Kelly, Jack Sat, Sam Green, Josh Rock, DiceXO, Carolyn Hines, all the people in the chat. And we'll see you next month.
Keith, where can people find you online?
Well, you can find me online on Facebook. It's Stanley's Comikaze. It's at Stanley Comikaze on Twitter. And next weekend's a big, big show. And one of the things that's really important is to support the vendors, to spend some money. So I have a suggestion for you. Almost every single comic book dealer will have boxes and boxes of ROM for like
$1.
$1 for all of them.
Yeah.
Do me this favor. Buy as much ROM as you can, because it helps the community.
And have Phil LaMarr
And
sign
bring it to Phil LaMarr to have it autographed.
Oh.
Exactly. I want to see how many copies of ROM we can get to Phil LaMarr.
I say at least 1,000.
It's going to be awesome. All the other celebrities will be looking like, what? That'll be good. We will see you next weekend at Stanley's Comikaze Expo, where it's going to be a blast. I really hope you come. We've worked really hard, Regina Carpinelli and I and Corey and Jay, the rest of the whole team and Advanced Star, to really put together an amazing experience that celebrates what LA does better than anybody in the known universe, except maybe for that star with the big thing now, but okay. We want you to come and experience it. It is really going to be unreal. Bernie and I will be there. It's going to be great. So we will see you next weekend.
That's right, guys. I'm going to give everybody a sign-off so you can check out their Twitter. Phil, where can people find you online?
At Phil LaMarr.
John.
At Mangum 1, number 1.
Riley.
At Rileah, Rileah.
Bernie, where can people find you?
At Nerds Like Us.
Awesome. And Keith, where can people find you?
At Mylud, M-Y-L-U-D, Mylud.
You guys can just find me. I'm just at John Schnepp on Twitter and Instagram and at TDOSLWH. And you've been watching Stan Lee's Comikaze all year long. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's been a great episode.
See you next month.
See you at Stan Lee's actual Comikaze at the Los Angeles Convention Center in a week and a half, and then come back next month and we'll check us out again. So see you then.
Yay.
Woohoo.